Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another side quest of Casual Master Quest. I don't have a tagline here because E3 is just bewildering me with all this audio sensory information, almost ASMR worthy.
You already lost it.
I already lost it. I am Tyler Vidito. Thank you for watching or listening to this show. Over here in the corner, I have a guest. Yes, our very first guest on Casual Master Quest. Over in the corner here, we have Brandon Thresher. How's it going?
It's going good. I just woke up.
You just woke
an hour
up
ago.
Oh man, so you woke up and you got hit with all this Nintendo and Sony stuff?
Yeah, I worked till 7 in the morning, and it's about a 40-minute drive back home. And it's hard.
Is it? Yeah, I feel you, man. Like, you are living the life of having two jobs.
Yes, because
Yep.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I work another job, and it usually runs 5 to 9.
Mhm.
Get back home, enough time to take a shower, and then have to be at the hotel.
Wow. I mean, I know the feeling pretty much. I work all day as a truck driver throughout the weekdays, and then on the weekend I get to do pizza delivery. Although I didn't announce this to anybody. I actually put my 2 weeks in on Saturday, so
Nice.
my last day officially, I won't be working that day, would be actually on my wedding. So I put my 2 weeks on.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yep, that's good. Very good. What you been playing, man?
What have I been playing? Nothing.
Nothing. You got a life?
Guild Wars 2, Dying Light, StarCraft 2, and Elder Scrolls Legends.
Elder Scrolls Legends. Now, what is that on? Is that the phone game?
That's phone and PC.
Okay. I've been pretty much playing a lot of Pokemon Go for the most part, and a lot of Persona 4, man. Like, you've seen that PS Vita Nick got me. It was a dust bin collecting object thing. I've been playing it so much. I bought a case for it. Like, I had you in mind, and I was getting ready to buy an Amazon Echo.
Yeah.
And I had it in my Amazon list, and then I was like, I'll get the Vita case too. I only end up getting the Vita case. I didn't actually buy an Amazon Echo. It's like I had to make my choice there. I had to pick one or the other. This nice $50 with the light bulb and all that stuff for $80 or $12 for a Vita case. I wasn't disappointed. Difference. It was very durable. Like, I wouldn't toss it like a football, but I would toss it over to the other side of the bed. So it's more
and let
comfort.
It bounce off.
Yeah. Man, I'm still scared about my computer screen, man. Just rumbling around, moving around the USB cables, getting things set up, and all of a sudden the monitor freaking falls off. And I was like,
You said you were gonna go relax after that. I definitely don't blame you.
Yeah, no kidding. But E3 is still upon us. We are hit with like the 4th, 5th wave at this point.
Last one.
Well, is there more after this?
Nope. There's the treehouse going on right now, and then I think it's done.
Sweet, thank God. No offense. I've said it for the record. I hate E3, man. I hate E3. People say it's like Christmas. To me, it's like Christmas. You're supposed to have fun. This is the holiday shopping 2 days before Christmas. You got to take it all in and plan and try to get excited, but you're just so stressed.
I love E3.
yeah, everybody loves E3. I hate it, but screw it. We got to actually start talking Sony and Nintendo. Although I know you want to talk a little bit about a certain other press.
I just want to talk to you about it, so we don't need to keep it in here. But
okay, I mean,
I can just make my quick points.
Well, you're excited about stuff from Bethesda.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got my list there. Let me just read down it real quick. The unimportant one is Rage 2. It just looks fun. That's
sad, man. Don't pick on Rage 2. They got a forced announcement from a Canadian Walmart. They had to put something out.
Yeah, it looks fun though. I was pleasantly surprised at what the gameplay looked like. I might not pick it up day one, but if it ever goes on sale, kind of purchase, But the big, well, here, let me go down to the bottom of that list. Starfield, You know me,
Yeah.
I'm always looking for a good space combat kind of game. And
Yeah, but this is like Sea of Thieves, but in space at this point. You're gonna buy yourself a fancy ship and just try to travel this. Well, not the seas. I guess the seas of space.
well, that's Starlink.
Hmm.
Starfield, we don't have any information on,
Oh, okay. Well,
unfortunately.
so I can't give anything to compare that try to dissuade
Yeah,
you.
but it's
Uh,
probably pretty similar. But
anything else from Bethesda?
well, let's see. Let's go down least important. Elder Scrolls 6.
The least important. Wow,
I want to
laying the heat.
I want to get
Wow.
excited for it, but I feel like they just put that in because they just wanted something.
They wanted people to get excited with a buzzword. Yes.
Like you saw the trailer. I say trailer very loosely. The announcement for it just showed High Rock or wherever that was. Um and Elder Scrolls 6. That's all we got to see.
Uh, what about Elder Scrolls Blade or Fallout 76?
Blade looks fun. I've already pre-registered for it on my phone and computer, so hopefully I can get into that. I'm always
You got to pre-order. The person that likes to pirate, borrow every single game on the internet, you're gonna pre-order it.
It's free.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Um,
That's fair. Okay, fine, whatever. Of course, if it's free, then it's acceptable. Whatever.
and so I lost my train of thought. Oh, it looks like a fun roguelike. I'm not excited about the base building aspects, but you gotta have something to get in there, reason to go exploring in the dungeons, I guess. And then Fallout 76. I'm excited for and not at the same time.
Why
It
not?
uses a lot of the same elements from Fallout 4, it looks like.
Really?
Yeah.
A Fallout game
So-
using its own game mechanic? Okay.
No, not mechanics, like same guns. I mean, new enemy types and stuff, but it looks like a port that they added online to and put into a new area.
Hmm. So you're telling me you don't have any real excitement for it?
I mean, it'll be fun if the multiplayer is fun. Like that's its big selling point, I think. You know, you
Wait,
set
Fallout
out
76 has multiplayer in it?
Yes.
Okay.
And it seems we don't have much information on it, but from what I've gathered, it seems a lot like Dark Souls multiplayer.
oh
mixed-
man, you're totally getting me less excited.
Well, it seems like any person that you come up into the world is think of it like a 100-person MMO.
Okay, 100 people get get dropped from a plane onto an island,
Right. Yeah, and then you have to kill everybody.
and you shoot BB guns at each other.
Right. But the world is so big that you build these bases. Right? You got to collect resources and build bases.
Okay.
And the purpose of the game is you're rebuilding the wasteland. And so you'll come across someone building their base and be like, "Oh, it's a nice hubcap you got there." And then you can either, trade with them, kill them, or, work with them and they can show you where to find one but this is all speculation for that. So we'll see. We'll see as more announcements come.
Okay.
Should be interesting.
Anything else you want to point out from the other ones? Or the other conferences besides the big ones?
Anthem looked fun. I won't buy it.
You don't want the Destiny clone?
No. I have Destiny 2 now, apparently, from the Humble Bundle, but I haven't even put it on. Haven't even tried it yet. Sea of Solitude, like I said, I'm always looking for a good space or pirate game.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk looked fun. I was a big fan of The Witcher, so fine. Star Citizen. I'm seeing a big relation between a lot of the games that I
You say Star Citizen?
Yes. There's Starfield, Starlink, and Star Citizen.
I was gonna say Star Citizen. I was talking about those somebody else. I think it was Nick. That they had a new recent update to either Patreon or I think it's like a Kickstarter extra goal or something where you can donate. It was either like $25,000 or $50,000 to get the next tier of a ship. So I mean, yeah, for the big bad right now is the drop, $25,000+ to get it. So
Well, I mean, I can get 2 or 3 if you want.
I
I
was
can
gonna say
get
there's
you
gonna
one.
be a couple of jumps we're gonna have to make for that. We might have to pull out, a couple of house mortgages, some loans, get
That
some liens on the tractor.
I wonder how many loan officers have to turn people down because their reason for a loan is for a video game.
They need a
Mhm.
$63 loan for a game.
Well, I'm thinking more like for this, like, oh, I need $25,000 so I can
I'm building a new
fund this game.
spaceship. I'm like, oh, okay. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna fly it in this game. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
All
All
right.
right.
So Sony, did
Yes,
you watch the actual direct or stream?
I
Stream,
did.
sorry. Okay. So the first thing we got to see, besides the usual rambling of I believe it was Sony CEO, we got to see a spotlight shoot down on this lone man sitting in the left corner of this area, wearing a hoodie, trying to be all dark Assassin's Creed style, with a banjo.
Yeah.
With a banjo.
And
And
that
a
brought us
not a guitar, not a an accordion, I guess. I don't know. A freaking banjo. And he's just sitting there for 5 minutes. Like, I feel like they're trying to stall. Like he had an earpiece and they're like, just keep playing. They just solo it up, man. Just
when does
we're not
this
ready with the
end?
trailer. We're rendering, man. We're rendering. Okay,
What did that lead into? I don't think I put that on my notes.
that led into Last of Us Part 2.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I remember I was thinking, oh, this is going to lead into Red Dead Redemption or some old Western kind of game where the banjo would be
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Well, I mean, he played the same song that Ellie played, I believe, on a guitar in the first teaser for this game. Like years, like last year, the year before, where she was just playing on the guitar. But I was thrown out. It's like, why a banjo? Did the
Right.
guitar break? And they went to the nearest music store and they're like, oh, we got this banjo.
They just found someone on the side of the road. Can you play banjo, please?
I mean, I believe he was the music director or something like that for this game. So side of the street, maybe, I don't know. If you're gonna hate on Naughty Dog, but yes, we got Last of Us Part 2, a bigger, longer view on it. Showed Ellie sitting at this weird makeshift ballet, no, not
Bar.
ballet, like a bar slash some kind of ball dance thing, and gets somewhat hit on a guy. She kind of brushes off, gets to see a girl who I presume she really likes because she, I would say about 30 seconds in, begins dancing and then starting to French her. And they're trying to all talk friendly and whatnot to each other. And then she immediately suffers PTSD.
I thought though that was such a good transition because my mind immediately went to her. She starts breathing heavy and moaning, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" All right. I thought it was a great transition though because my mind went to they're making love. You hear that heavy breathing and all of that, and I'm thinking, are we going to see this on a E3 presentation? And
I
then it goes to her.
Let's say, how long does this go? Because I'm going to need at least 5-10 minutes. What's going on here?
And it was just a stark contrast between the two that I really enjoyed it. And then we got to see some gameplay.
Yeah, no kidding. I remember my first kiss too. Jeez, actually, no, that would have been at least her second kiss canonically, because there was a DLC that Ellie got where she had her first kiss with also a lady. So yes, we got to see a bunch of Ellie gameplay. I would say about 5 minutes or so. Was very seamless and good at transition. No HUD or no HUD besides like a little health bar in the corner. Now I wonder if that's supposed to be what it's like for the actual game, or if they're just putting it on in minimal mode to try to show, you don't have to look at anything else. You don't need a mini map or anything. You just got to walk around. Your environment is your map, which could be true.
You don't get a mini map in real life.
Mini maps are for suckers.
Walking around with your phone GPS. Where am I? Oh God!
Trying to sneak, looking at her iPhone. Oh gosh, there's an enemy over there.
Dot for an enemy on there.
Oh gosh. But I mean, the combat was similar, honestly.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of additions, and it kind of felt weird because I couldn't tell when it was a cutscene and when it was actually like gameplay, like you were doing something, because it's just like everything seemed circumstantial, because there was a point where she's hiding under a truck, and it's like, did she intentionally get in the truck because we got railroaded under there, or did we just happen to go under the truck by coincidence, and then it sparked an event where somebody would slowly lean and look under it?
I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say it was all gameplay.
You really, okay, so you're telling me that there's potentially in this one area so many different ways that they could have interacted with the environment, because there was another time where this big bad guy just grabs her by the throat and picks her up. I'm like, okay, he's gonna choke her and throw her. He does not do that. Well, yes, he does. He throws her through this glass display case right to his right. And it's like, when's if he did that, like maybe 15 feet away? Would he throw her through something else? Would he just toss her to the walls?
Yeah.
Where Ellie dropped the ball and got an axe. No, not. But
it was a big giant hammer
had fallen. Okay. But yes, we got to see a little bit more. No sign of Joel.
No, nothing at all. Not in the bar scene or the.
I mean, when we saw the teaser thing from a year ago, it did show Joel coming in on her playing the not banjo, the guitar, and so he technically should be in here. Maybe it's a flashback or something like that, because what we saw in the teaser and what we saw her, because she looks much older. She's drinking booze. Like,
I mean, to be fair, there's not very many rules in that society.
That's true, but it's clear that at least 2-3 years have passed, if not more. Just how she looks a little bit more grown up. She's seen some stuff. She's got some dirt under her eyes and blood all over her face, whenever she's imagining her second or potentially more kisses. Is there anything? Yeah, I mean, this game was always like an instant buy for me anyways, just because I love Last of Us. But
right.
Is there anything that you noticed that was off-putting about it?
Not off-putting, but something you said earlier with the combat. It definitely was a very Ellie style of combat.
Yeah.
Like, you could definitely tell that they brought a lot of her skill set back from the first game. So I appreciated that. They didn't just try to combine hers and Joel's together.
It definitely felt like a more I'm not infinitely strong, so I gotta kind of play like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider style. You gotta sneak around.
That on chat. Tomb Raider 3.
Oh, yeah, I mean, she has the bow now, which she always had the bow halfway into the game anyways, but it's just weird because I'm so used to originally in Last of Us, when he plays Joel, it's more like you hide somewhere and then you either choke him out immediately or just shoot him down.
Yeah. And
you technically could hide around in Last of Us, but it felt like they were trying to intentionally outmaneuver you in terms of having more enemies. And
I mean, that's what it looked like in this scene.
Yeah, more screwy situations where you were, done for if you made a bad move. Like, there was a moment where the person played, the character was going to go for a sneak kill, but somebody marches in, and so the guy or girl runs back. The person obviously looks at her, but apparently the viewpoint was not far enough to recognize, oh, there's a bad guy over there, or Ellie's over there. And we still don't know what the heck's going on. Apparently there's some kind of weird religious cult that is, they love hanging people. But wait, before we hang you, let's disembowel you, then hang you. Ugh. I mean, that's a rough way. It's like, pick one or the other. There's no need to do both unless you're like trying to do exterior design. I mean, what kind of decoration is that? No signs of zombies.
No.
The greatest enemy right now is man, which is
I mean, the end of Last of Us kind of had working on the zombie problem.
True.
Maybe they were able to do it.
That's also very possible. We're maybe after a post-apocalyptic post-zombie end world level stage. It's weird because the zombies in that game didn't really play a major role, like the prime major role. It was more the conflicts of what was left over with civilization. Almost every single time. Now, zombies were always a driving factor, but it wasn't always the big thing. But I haven't seen any driving factors yet.
I'm remembering a scene when I was watching, I think it was you playing Last of Us when I was over there, of you were in a school or something, and you had to get the key cards. And you had this big guy chasing you down while you were trying to get
I
it.
remember that guy.
And that's all I could think of. We say zombies weren't that prevalent.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a primeval right there. Jeez.
But anyway, that's just what I remembered.
Anything else you want to talk about that?
For The Last of Us, I don't think so.
I do believe that we did not actually get a street date for that just yet. Just coming out hopefully sometime next year. Hopefully. Well, usually when they don't, if they're confident, they'll put a date on it this year or early next year. If they're working on it almost done, they'll put 2019. You don't say a date. I'm guessing 2020 at this rate.
2021.
Oh gosh, don't say that. That's Kingdom Hearts 4. No, it's not exactly. Kingdom Hearts 4 is like 2030.
Kingdom Hearts 3.1.
Oh gosh, final remake plus. Next game is Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Now we heard a good amount of talk about the game, but we didn't get to actually see any gameplay footage until last night.
We did get to hear someone play a single pan flute thing recorder. I don't know.
That's true. Apparently they did not want to be outdone by the banjo, so they played a majestic Japanese musical instrument for another 5 minutes while they got preloaded the cinematic cutscene that was behind them. Open field. It looked great. It looked like somebody like a $20,000 animated wallpaper at that point, but it's okay. So they played more music, trying to impress us, which, no offense, that flute solo is probably more impressive to me than the entirety of Ubisoft, but that's just me. I mean, I'm sorry, but EA got beat by the banjo, Ubisoft got beat by the Japanese flute. But we got to see the first beginning, I would assume the beginning of Ghost of Tsushima, where we have a samurai of the Bushido returning back to his homeland that's being invaded by the Mongolians, or the Mongols, sorry. So I guess that would make it a very, very long time ago. Obviously, this would be ancient China, ancient Japan, which makes sense because that's when samurais were big. A lot of gore. Not ridiculous gore, but a guy swings a samurai sword and it makes connection with a limb. Limb doesn't immediately fly off, but blood definitely goes everywhere.
It's like hanging there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the first thing we see is him marching up to the Mongolians going, "Hey, that's enough. You go home now." It's like, okay, that's gonna work. Yep, we're gonna resolve this by talking like an action from the 80s. Okay, sure. The Mongolians like, "We suddenly speak Japanese now. We don't going to kill you." And one marches forward and he does like a flash blade attack straight out of his sheath and kills him in one shot. Slashes into like the back of another and then kicks one over and I think he backstabs one too, even just right through the back, through the gut, sticking out.
Oh yeah, coming through the back. I'm trying to remember the trailer.
And then he meets looks like somebody else from a different clan of some sort. It's like, "Oh, the monk's in trouble. Let's go save him." So, we got Archer Lady and Samurai Dude. It's like a happy hero, go west, young Goku story going on here. And, they get 10 feet and it's like, "Oh, we're going to turn this into a stealth mission for 3 seconds. It's like, okay, sure. Let's attack them together. So, this part kind of freaked me out because I like the combat. Their attempt to do something stealthy just seemed silly. Like a samurai trying to be sneaky. It just doesn't seem right.
I noticed when he was walking on the roof, he was making so much noise in game, and none of the enemies.
I know, like
noticed
the Mongols down there. You hear him on his bamboo shoes pressing against the bamboo roof, going boom, 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 boom. I'm so stealthy. Let me show my grappling hook, which he has a grappling hook. Bless him. Throws it against the roof. Then almost Spider-Man style tries to jump into the wall, but somehow magically does not make a noise. He like quietly slightly bounces and then climbs up, clambers over the roof, and then apparently they won't notice him until he drops down and Shanghai's no pun intended right through the guy's chest again. And eventually after that, and I think this one scene I thought was probably the best thing I saw so far was when the clan member of the rival clan drops her bow and then proceeds to do a samurai sword fight, like right there, into like the sunrise slash sunset
with
and
all the leaves,
cherry blossom fields everywhere. Like this is Metal Gear Solid 3 final fight. Like we just needed Snake Eater playing. Seriously. Bum, 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 bum. Ba, ba, da. And they're just duking it out. And I thought it was cool, but I wasn't impressed by the combat style because I had no idea what was going on. There was no like suggestion, like no tutorial, so we didn't know. Like for all we know, that could have been like a 10-minute cutscene right there.
From the way that it looked, and again, this is all speculation, it looked like it was kind of set up like Skyward Sword, where you had to wait and time your enemies' moves to make your moves, or you can go on the offensive if you wanted, but then if they block you, you know.
Right, parrying was really heavy in that.
It looked a lot like an actual like fighting game, like Street Fighter or something.
Or like Mario Ace Tennis, or Mario Tennis Ace. Yeah. That is a fighting game. I'm not kidding, man.
Fighting with the internet?
Yeah, that's... You're funny. Reminds me of the old joke. I was going to make it when you're bringing up Elder Scrolls. You know, like, I'll never finish Elder Scrolls 6, but don't worry, neither will Bethesda. So,
right.
I know, right? OC joke, do not steal. But another thing I'd like to point out with Ghost of Tsushima, the beginning, he gets on his horse, he's running through these fields, which go for what appears to be miles. And as Jeff Gerstmann of Giant Bomb was pointing out, he was waiting for like the pop in, you know, from the distance because everything seems so detailed, but the draw distance can only go so far without taking too much of a hit on the computer. He couldn't see it. Neither could I. Everything looked detailed like crazy from like half a mile away. And like even the trees, the grass, everything looked well drawn, and it stayed that way all the way through.
I don't remember which game during E3 was talking about it, but they were just talking about how rendering distance improvements have been made so much. You can see storms, you know, miles out into the distance. I think it was Fallouts, but they just have made such improvements for rendering distance that is insane. So that's definitely a good example of it.
So Ghost of Tsushima, is it a buy? Is it a rent? Is it a I'll pass?
On sale.
On sale?
It's
like, how much on sale are we talking here?
Well, all right, here, let me rephrase it. It's a game I would watch you play.
It's a game, okay.
Yeah. So like Detroit, you know, it looks good, it looks fun. Not really my style, but I loved watching people play it.
It's okay. I don't think I've bought a Sucker Punch game at full price since they've been created. So, oh well. The next game, I was going to say, I like it. I don't think it'd be a game I'd buy. I feel like it'd be a game that I'd buy and I really would appreciate. But I don't know. I'd be hesitant on it. I don't think it'd be something I could watch, though.
One of my... Sorry?
No, I was going to say, it's one of those games I would fall asleep watching.
One of my favorite games when I was younger, and I can't even remember the name of it anymore.
That's a great game, then.
Yeah. It was a Xbox game, I think, and PlayStation 2.
I'm going to say, you're not going to get me if it's Xbox.
But basically, you went through and you had telekinesis, pyrokinesis, mind control, and stuff like that on your left hand, and then you had a gun on your right hand, and you had to go through
BioShock?
No, although BioShock was fun,
I will say
No, it was before BioShock. And I wish I could remember it, but that's not important. But anyway,
I feel like I know what game you're talking about too. Now it's gonna freak me out because
PsyOps.
Oh, PsyOps, yes. People were totally thinking, and I'm assuming you're trying to do a sweet transition over to the next game, Control.
Oh, did I miss a game on my list?
Control? Yes. No, Ghost of Tsushima to Control. Control is another game that came out. I wasn't sure if we're actually going to be done with Ghost.
I'm actually. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
If we're done, I can move on. But
we're totally on to this one.
But yeah, so with PsyOps, that was a game I really enjoyed playing, and I'm excited for Control. Like that, and this is what I thought you were saying. This is a game that I would actually buy. You know, I wouldn't want to watch somebody play it.
Really? Because it gave me so much Prey vibes. And no offense, Prey vibes are not good vibes for me.
Right.
I mean, it's behind the people, or the people behind this game are also the guys that made Max Payne, Alan Wake, and then Quantum Break. So it's like they know how to do good CG FMV style gaming. So it's gonna look great. I just don't know how well or how much I would enjoy it. And quite frankly, I'm hesitant on that kind of stuff. But you think this would be something you'd enjoy playing?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just my style of game. I don't know. I like games like that. Like I loved all the BioShock games and all of that. So similar to both of those.
Now, this is a little story I have told people time and time again. The first horror game that I have ever played was Resident Evil on the PlayStation. It was played, in fact, on your PlayStation. While you had a PlayStation over at the house that
having a PlayStation.
Well, we lived on Fillmore Place, or you lived at Fillmore Place, and I was visiting one day, and upstairs he had a PlayStation with like a bunch of like bootleg games or something like that on the, you know, those CD rack things.
Oh yeah, I know. Like my dad had that for us. I remember.
Well, you had Resident Evil. I tried playing it. The first zombie came towards me. I couldn't handle the tin controls. Panicked, hit the power button, and then I never touched a horror game until Dead Space. So me and Resident Evil don't get along all that well. I had come back to play Resident Evil 5. It's weird because everybody was like, Resident Evil 4 is where it's at. I still haven't touched it. You and I have played a ton of Resident Evil 5. Yeah. Chris, Sheva. And, you know, of course, Resident Evil 7 was my big deal for a good while. But Resident Evil 2 is not a game that, I mean, I've heard, I've seen, but I never played it. And so I didn't have that much interest when it came out or is being announced for a remaster.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, people were excited. People were clamoring for this, I guess, but it was just not the group that I follow or I'm in.
I mean, you see, it's not even on my list here. So,
yeah, I mean, it's supposedly coming out January 25th next year. So
next year,
yeah, 2000. Well, I mean, yeah, no, January 25th of this year. It was out 5 months ago. The next one, I guess, would be, in fact, Kingdom Hearts 3, which we saw at least 2 other trailers almost similar to this played already.
We saw
Square Enix and then on Microsoft.
Yeah, I was surprised. You know, I thought when they showed the trailer for Kingdom Hearts, it was going to be the Elsa Frozen trailer again, and you just come up and it's Sora as pirate.
As a pirate? Yeah. So, speaking of pirate games, what do you think? Is it pirate worthy?
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts Pirates of the Caribbean.
Unless it comes out on PC.
Wait, you telling me?
Oh, you meant for seafaring. I thought you were talking about pirating.
Oh, no. Oh, jeez, Brandon. Gosh. Don't say that out loud.
You already called me out on it.
I don't know what you're talking about. You would never pirate a single thing. Unless it's Kingdom Hearts 3 Pirates of the Caribbean World. So we got to see a couple. Yeah, what's up?
Oh, I just remembered the boat battles in it.
Are you talking about 3 or 2?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, yeah, battles where they had like 100 cannons on one side, and you just push a button, you just shoot like 100 cannonballs at another ship. So, what Black Flag should have been?
No, Black Flag was actually a lot of fun.
I know. I'm just messing.
I didn't even play Black Flag for the Assassin's Creed part. I just played it for the ship shanties.
There is one thing I'd like to point out, though, is it looks amazing. Like the level of detail. People actually are starting to compare like characters that you see compared to them in the movie. Like the main character from Tangled. Apparently, it looks a lot better in the cutscene for Kingdom Hearts 3 than in the movie, which I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. And of course, we get to see a bunch more games or worlds rather. The Pirates of the Caribbean one, they did an excellent care to detail with it. It looked fantastic, man. And it's so weird because I'm so used to the cartoony bullcrap that I'm used to with Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And so having a realistic cartoony thing all the time, I don't know. Like, they didn't have to go that far. I would have been okay with a beta quality level game, I guess.
Right. You just play it for the story. If the gameplay looks great, then great.
And I mean, to be fair, we've been waiting for this game for what, 15 years almost? A little bit less, but not 15 years. 14 years. 13, 14 years. And so I guess we should hope for the best that it looks fantastic, but
I will say one thing. You mentioned there's a bunch of new worlds announced.
yeah.
I'm not very hip on Monster Sora.
Really?
He looks furry.
Really?
I
Are you
mean,
calling him a furry?
I don't know. It's just that was me. I didn't like it much, but
Don't worry. Like, I'm not
looked
feeling hip
good.
on the Toy Story Sora either. The problem is, though, everybody that keeps looking at Toy Story Sora and his like attacks and all that is like, oh, it looks like the best. I'm like, okay, sure. I mean,
Right.
the Pirates of the Caribbean one looks great. I don't remember specifically what he looks like in Frozen, which still
I think he
bewilders
just
me.
had a coat on.
Yeah, just he has the old Kingdom Hearts 2 thing with the heavy jacket on. Fair enough. It's still weird that they actually did Frozen.
Yeah.
I mean, they did say that they're going to focus on more newer films or Disney movies that came out. So it's at the same time, they also have Hercules and Toy Story. And no offense, Toy Story is a little bit old, so is Hercules. So it's like at this point, it's like, what are you going to do next? Snow White? I think Snow White's their first one of their first ones.
I was really hoping to see, and I know that it's much better as a pre-release hype, like as we get closer to the date. I was really hoping to see a hint at a Star Wars world, because I think a lightsaber keyblade would be awesome, and that's like the only reason.
Like instead of Seth Roth, the optional supervillain would be Lord Darth Vader. That would be awesome, man. That would be so awesome. Plus, we do technically have the right of way to Marvel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they totally could be doing a superhero world where, just pick one, do Iron Man or something.
Oh, working with Iron Man. Whew.
How do you think Sora would handle Tony Stark? I feel
working
like
with Doctor Strange.
Oh gosh, like I imagine Tony, like I'm trying to think of all the witty lines that Tony Stark would say, like "Come on, Goofy and Donald." He wouldn't say Goofy and Donald. He'd say, Dog and Quackers, Doctor Quackers, and does this thing even talk? Okay, so I guess the last one, oh no, there's two more on the list.
With Kingdom Hearts, real quick.
Yeah,
imagine him and Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah,
they would get along well. That'd be interesting.
So?
Oh yeah, because he's kind of they're both kind of snarky, cocky little kids, and have good sense of humor. It would be interesting.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Speaking of Spider-Man, I'm gonna bump down the list a little bit. We did have a heck of a look at the new Spider-Man game. What do you think of it?
It looks good. I mean, it looks like Arkham Asylum meets Spider-Man, but we'll see. I just need more on the story. Combat's not too important for me.
I guess not, but we didn't see all that much combat. Like, combat was involved, but we didn't actually do it. It felt like at least half of the time that we saw gameplay footage, it was him pressing circle to sling web across this giant, sea at this, I don't know, it was like an oil drill or something like that.
The raft, high-tech security prison.
And, we're just chasing after Captain Electro. I don't know what his name was, but some thunder and lightning guy, while beaten off by the Vulture of all the characters, which we kept webbing in the face. Thought it funny that the Rhino came back, and we got Reptile. So they got the old school villains. I
was so upset at the cliffhanger though.
Oh, when he turns his head and goes, "You, dun."
I get it. Again, building hype. You want people to talk about it. I hate cliffhangers in video game trailers.
Well, there's two obvious answers, right?
Green Goblin.
Either Green Goblin, which we got to point out, it doesn't have the similarities to Homecoming, the new Spider-Man movie, because otherwise the Vulture would be something completely different. So it has to remain comic book, which means either the Green Goblin or the Hobgoblin, the Sun, could be assisting in some way, or Venom. Venom could be another
Yeah, that's what a
potential
lot
thing.
of people are
They
saying.
turn into an anti-hero style thing. Brock is like, screw you. The only person that can kill. I was about to turn into my Vegeta voice. The only thing that can kill Spider-Man is me. All y'all can, choke on
No,
a
he's
bag.
mine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Um,
Harry Potter? No, he's okay. Yes.
I don't know.
God.
It could be a lot of people, I think, though. I want something like completely off the wall though. If it's a villain, I want like Thanos.
Yeah. You just
Yeah.
want Thanos to be hovering and like, hey, do you got any Infinity Stones? And he's like, no, but can you help me? Yeah, sure. That's a 5-minute game right there, Brandon. We can't have Thanos.
I don't know. I don't want. I know. I expect. Let me get my train of thought back here. I like that we have so many villains. I hope they all provide different styles to fight them, kind of like how Arkham City did. Or
What
Arkham
happens
Knight.
if this is like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where each one of them owns like a part of the city, and you got to go to each one and just kind of break it down piece by piece before you can take on the Kingpin?
It'd be boring.
Yeah, it would be really boring. Also, another thing I thought of, the possibility of Peter Parker's protege or the next step in for the
Miles.
Yes, for Spider-Man. It could be Miles as the person to help him. Double Spider-Man. No,
It'd be interesting. It'd be fun for multiplayer.
The idea that you could have two Spider-Mans that you control at different times of the game or something like that.
Right.
One's more on melee and whatnot. The other one's like focused on sneaking. I really don't know who would have what for style, but
what I really want, and you have to draw a lot of similarities to Arkham Knight because that's the kind of game it is, unfortunately, and that's the kind of game it's probably going to be. But Arkham Knight,
yeah, I can see that.
You didn't have much randomness in your encounters. What I would really enjoy is, like, let's say you're slinging around the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see a balloon, Spider-Man 2 game. You see a balloon or something they gotta go get for a little kid, and you're slinging up to it, and then just at the top, or before you even get to the top, you're just all of a sudden smacked, and your character goes flying. You're like, what just happened? You turn around and vultures flying towards you.
Oh, gosh.
Like, just completely random encounters like that, and I would really appreciate that. I could see you screaming when it happens.
Yeah, that's my balloon now, kid. Ah, dang it! Just shoot him in the face again with more webbing.
And then, like, let's say that happens to you, but me, when I go get the balloon, nothing happens, and then maybe for another person they land
like a random encounter style thing.
Yeah.
Imagine if they implemented like a nemesis system. Each one of those. What?
I don't think I know what
you never heard. About. Sorry, Shadow of Mordor. They had a system where basically this was a big thing a couple years ago. I'm surprised. Where basically you could fight a boss, and if you defeated it, if he would come back stronger, covering like a weak point that you were focusing on, or if he'd be missing an eye or something like that, or if he defeated you, he would come back and he would remember that he defeated you, and he'd start taunting you for that fight and all that. And so you tried to either, chase him off the property where he would come back either stronger than before, or otherwise, augmented in such a way to make it harder for you, or you could flat out kill him. And, usually killing means, a nemesis in his place, or I guess it would be a different form of boss. So you beat up Vulture by ripping off his wings, or you webbed his wings so he comes back with special augmented mithril plated wings or something to stop you from sticking him.
I seem to remember in Homecoming he had cutters on his wings to cut the web.
Ah, okay. Well, like I said, in my defense, this is comic book Vulture.
Yeah.
Captain Baldy.
That would be that would be a fun combat. Or even just like going the Metal Gear route with your goons. You do too many headshots with your web slinging, and all of a sudden they're wearing helmets. And you get melee combat, so they're wearing armor. You do stealth too much. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Speaking of Metal Gear Solid, but not quite, next on the list is Kojima's movie turned video game style thing, Death Stranding.
One of my favorite comments, and this is kind of going to jump a little bit ahead, but I appreciate this comment so much.
Yeah.
Was Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus. Should be the name of the game.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So...
when people ask you, all right, All right, what happened in this trailer? What information did you gather? The only
Thank you.
thing you can
You're going
say
to do
is,
this and not me because I don't know where to go with
I
this.
don't know. Like, I have no clue what's going on. The one thing that I think I gathered from it is, she mentions that they fast forward time or they control time.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that fetus is your respawn system.
Right.
So when you get fast forwarded time, your character dies, but the fetus is you. So
basically, in order to continuously traverse through time, you got to live your natural life cycle, but you're also constantly cloning yourself, hopefully with your memories, so you can just keep going. But in reality, this was a 5-minute footage of him marching around what looked like a living version of Mars, holding and wearing different shaped backpacks, just
holding a full RPG inventory.
Like, yeah, no kidding. Like, just this full, like, I'm set for the mountains for the rest of my life, and I brought my entire house. And then there's a random cutscene. It's like, oh, I'm carrying a full-size body for some reason that's all wrapped up, hanging on my back.
Ooh. I just remembered him ripping off his toenail.
And for some reason, he decided that he was going to rip off a toenail. And Kojima, he loves this stuff. He likes to make people go WTF. I can't blame him. I mean, he finishes it by having the woman that he was talking with, I think she bit into a bug or something like that, and just sat there in CG just chewing.
She called it something, and a lot of people were speculating that's how you create your next fetus.
Because it looked like a fetus to me, but I didn't want to say that. And she just put it around. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make ASMR chewing noises, but yeah, that's how I talk and I chew. And it's just sitting there for like 5-10 seconds just chewing, and then gives like this crap eating grin. Yeah, and it's like, okay, thank you, Kojima. I understand that there's no way to understand this, and you expect him to give $60 and pray to God that this is a decent and new game.
We will.
But will we?
I will. Maybe. I don't know. I'll need to see a little bit more for it.
I mean, I have bought every single Metal Gear Solid game that has come out since I discovered Metal Gear Solid. I bought 4 or 5. Wait, is there a 6th one? Am I missing 6?
No, Phantom Pain.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero, which I bought for you for your birthday. Bless you. And then Phantom Pain for oh man.
I never beat Phantom Pain.
Neither have I. I think I beat the first act, but then I saw Act 2. I'm like, nope, this isn't worth it. I was sick of pointing at my horse and saying, do it. And horse takes the crap in the ground.
My solid state died because I had it installed on that, so
I'm sorry, man. So Death Stranding, that's probably the last one for Sony. How
10 out of 10.
You really think so? Or are you just being sarcastic?
For Death Stranding?
Well, I was going to say for Sony's conference as a whole, but sure, Death Stranding. What do you think of it? Is this a game that you're actually going to buy?
I don't know. I want to. It looked like the kind of game that would just mess with me, and I appreciate that. Like, not like a horror game, but like a psychological, like...
It's like in my head, it's like I have to say, well, I need to hear a storyline before I buy it. It's like, you do that for a Metal Gear Solid game. I dare you. Give me a solid, what is the storyline for the first hour and a half of any of the Metal Gear Solid games, and try to, make it sound believable.
You're on an island.
Sure. That is the first one. You are on Shadow Moses.
You gotta sneak around and don't get caught because there's a guy with a giant machine that's trying to cause nuclear war.
Shadow Moses, you got to enter an island that is being possessed by paid-for mercenaries who took over the island with backup from the Russians for some reason, because they want to take over this nuclear factory that's on this island that's been long since decommissioned by the U.S. so they can possess a top secret military function that's hidden underneath the ground, with also the worry that there's actual nukes on site still. Some were decommissioned, spilling all over the place and all. It's like, okay, and then you can go further. Also, the main bad guy is your evil twin brother clone who wants the body of your genetic daddy. That's his terms. He doesn't want money. He wants his father in a bag. Also, there's a lot of cardboard box. Okay, Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Wahoo!
All right. Do you want to go down my list, or did you have one?
We can go down your list. I'm okay with that.
Super Mario Party.
Yay! Another way I can find a way to destroy our friendship.
I'm bringing that, by the way. Mario Party 2. When I come up.
Now, this is going to be the day before my wedding. We're probably going to make mistakes, and I'm going to be hungover on my marriage.
I plan on it.
But I'm going to have at least you, Nick, potentially David, potentially Joe. I'll stay in the night. Like, well, I'm going to have to keep it to 4.
David's going to be there.
Is he?
Yeah.
I was not aware of this. Plans are being made. Okay, anyways, Super Mario Party.
This is my job to plan for you. But anyway, Super Mario Party. I bought a DS just to play Mario Party 100.
Did you really? I'm so sorry.
Because sorry, let me.
I love how your face dropped for a second. Like,
let me rephrase that. You and I bought this DS for Sun and Moon. I bought a second DS so I could play Mario Party 100 with people.
What happened to the first one?
I still have it.
Why did you get a second one?
So I could play it with people.
Oh, so you basically bought 2 so you can hand one to another and do share play or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I modded both of them, so I don't actually own the game.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Did you know that Homebrew works on the DS too?
I did not, but now I do. Awesome. Good to know. Anyways, Super Mario Party.
I have always been a Mario Party fan. I am super excited for it. I hope that there's online play because that would be nice.
Did you get to see the trailer for this?
I did.
Answer me one question only, and then you can continue. Are they all in a car still, or do they move separately?
It looked like they moved.
Because in the last one for the Wii U, they are all traveling in a car thing. And I was like, yes, absolutely.
It looked like they're all moving separately because I seem to remember Bowser running from a boulder by himself, and I think it was Wario getting a star.
Okay. So I really hope so.
Yeah. Did you? So you saw the trailer. Combining the switches together to create the maps for some of the mini games.
I did not see the trailer, but now you're getting me more excited to see these trailers.
So it was the tank game, where you go through and shoot the tanks.
Yeah.
And each switch had on the screen, some obstacles. And so you could put the switches together this way and have, just a box. You could turn it around, turn it to the side, have some walls and stuff in it. Oh, it looked so good for some of the games. And they have, the motion controllers make for some fun games there, and I am super excited for it. That's a day one purchase for me.
Okay, let's see. It will be out October 5th this year, so we got a few months, but at least a game to look forward this year. Next in the list, you have as more official announcements for Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah, I was surprised it actually looked like a full game. Like
really, that's good to hear.
I expected it to be kind of like Pokemon Safari or a remake of Red and Blue, but from what they showed us, it looks like it has a different story. Even,
I mean, it's supposed to be focused off of it said in the very beginning, fans of Pokemon Yellow, essentially, you'll recognize this game for what it is, which we talked about it previous on different podcasts. It makes sense because you get the Pikachu or Eevee, which is Red and Blue. What's up?
You can't evolve your Eevee.
Can you evolve the Pikachu?
Probably not.
Oh, all right.
Garbage.
Returned, pre-ordered, canceled. So did we get an official date for that?
I don't think so. I think we just got this year.
Okay, because I thought it was like November 17th or something like that. Oh, November 16th. Let's see. So that's is that a lit up Pikachu?
Yeah.
That looks awfully familiar, Brandon. Where did you get that from?
McDonald's.
Okay, it's just weird because I know I had something very similar to that, and I know we moved and split all our stuff.
I stole it from Jordan.
Okay. Jordan. Okay, fair enough.
He got Litten, and I got Pikachu.
Ah. Oh, okay. Well, we don't need to talk about Pokemon Let's Go. We know it's out and what it's doing.
It was just on the direct, so I put it on there.
the worst kept open secret for Nintendo is that Fortnite's coming out for it. Came out apparently
it's
ASAP.
right now. We could download it and play
Right now.
I probably won't because I have it on PC, but
so
I just thought it was interesting.
If we wanted to, we could play in Switch Battle Royale mode right now for free together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Depending on how fast your internet is. Right now might be half an hour from now, but you know.
Add details. Overcooked 2. Now, you and I have played this game. The first one, anyways, on PS4. That was a fun game.
It was hard.
It was very hard because, like, it was fun at first because we're just doing the simple basic stuff. But then when they started introducing these hangry mice and then earthquakes,
the mice.
trucks.
Moving trucks were funny. I actually really did appreciate those.
So many times that we would throw the meat or the bun over the edge in a sacrifice play just to keep the sandwich going.
One more.
Just like the dramatic slowness of you falling underneath the tires between the two things as you're like, just take it.
In the trailer, they did show that you can actually throw meat now. So like before you just kind of set it down and it threw it a little bit, but now you actually like throw.
You can chuck that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot more stages. There was one where they were in a hot air balloon, which was crashing, and it crashed on the ground, and then they were in a kitchen. So that was interesting. Yeah.
Huh. Oh, okay.
And so everything was on fire because the crash.
Oh, geez. So they had to grab the extinguisher immediately. Decide what needs. Okay. Sure. So we got that to look forward to. Octopath Traveler. Now, we saw a demo for that last year, I believe, right after or during E3. So we got to see Project Octopath, turn into this game. It's coming out July 13th.
Yes.
Now, is this a game that you're actually interested in playing, or is this?
I actually really enjoyed the demo, and I'm going to download the new demo in a couple weeks when it comes out. It's
so weird that they're announcing a second new demo to play. I mean, before it was like alpha. Now this is beta, essentially.
What I'm thinking they'll do is for the first trailer, you had the dancer and the soldier to play as. So I'm sure they'll have just 2 new people that you can play as for this one.
Okay.
And so I'm excited. I actually really enjoyed it. It's got a lot of old-fashioned Final Fantasy vibes to it.
No kidding, dude.
Don't get me wrong. I appreciate 15 and even 12 and 10 and all that. But 6, 7, and 8, the time-based systems, finding out which combinations of materia and attacks give you the best results.
I am jumping to the side here. I need to ask you to know right now. Sony is currently having something called Days of Play for the PS4.
Yes.
They have Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition for $30. Is that worth buying?
I enjoyed watching Connor play it.
That's not the answer I'm looking for.
I couldn't get into playing it myself. They did fix a lot of the mistakes with combat.
If you, with your experiences, you know what to expect, and you didn't have the game, would you buy it for $30?
Probably. I mean, honestly, I think Amanda would like it more than you.
Really? But
it's got a lot of hack and slash elements to it.
That's true, but she hates. There's no who can she relate to? Noctis? I'm sad and angry. Me too.
She would like
Who do you think she'd like?
Gladio, just the
Gladiolus?
big buff. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
The big buff guy with a heart of gold.
This didn't get mentioned too much. I'm just going to bring these up points. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is getting some DLC. Don't care. So there's that. Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Oh yeah, that's one I did forget.
That's one that you did forget. It's coming out in spring 2019.
I like how they turned it from. See, I was worried it was going to be like Fire Emblem Warriors, but it looks like it's a Fire Emblem game where instead of one person attacking, you have the entire army attacking, but you still only treat it as one entity.
And so it's going to be a much larger scale, essentially?
Yeah, so like instead of one person moving, it's 100, but you treat it as one block of enemies.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And so think of it like going from 10 health in Civilization to 100.
I really do like my individualism because that's where I can focus more on my waifu characters, but I suppose that could work out.
Well, that's what the characters the waifu characters and the husbando characters control each of the armies.
So essentially, they're like a general of this given unit, and that's their
Right.
strength
And you
alongside them.
control the general, and so it's their added strength and their health.
It sounds
So,
like a single unit version of Advance Wars at this
kind
point.
of. Yeah, it looks fun. It looks exciting, and they always have good stories.
It's still sad because I've played and beaten Fire Emblem Awakening, which took forever, by the way. But
did you have to do it like 3 times?
There's so much you have to do. Like, I was having children with people I didn't know, and Magic Future children kept coming. It was scary, man. But I played Path of Radiance to completion on the GameCube, but then you had Radiant Dawn for the Wii, which I never got to complete. And it's still eating me to this day that I didn't get to complete it.
For the Wii?
For the Wii. And then you have... good luck finding it legally, by the way. Like, the cheap copies are like $100 minimum. Unless you go to freaking goodwillauction.com or whatever the heck it's called. Dream big, right?
Oh, man, I spent way too much money on that website.
Fire Emblem Three Houses is a game I know I'm going to get, but I'm going to immediately regret that I don't have enough time for it. Like, I swear, the only way I'm going to be able to beat this game is if I become jobless. Which, I mean, it's in spring 2019. I work a seasonal job. I can actually kind of see this going the wrong way here. But it's also maybe near my birthday. A lot of these games are coming out February 22nd, 3 days before my birthday. Really interesting. Can't wait to make a wish list. Hollow Knight, a game that I didn't know too much about. Apparently, it's coming out on Switch.
It's fun. It's out now, yeah.
So
it's fun, but I've already beaten it on my computer, so...
do we know who made it?
Hollow Knight?
Yeah.
Hollow Studios.
I was gonna say, is it the same people that like Shovel Knight or something? Because it doesn't have that style, no. It has a nice cartoony style that reminds me almost of Cuphead.
Yeah, a little bit.
It has that artistic.
It's definitely a fun Metroidvania game.
Okay,
it is. Those are always fun.
Well, we probably should jump into the big one.
Oh, I've got to get going.
Do you?
Yeah. Because I got to go pre-order Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, man, you scared me. Don't scare me with this drivel crap.
Gotta go pre-order.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
I'm so excited.
Are you?
I am.
I am so glad that you're excited because I got some bitterness with this game, man. I got some beef. Okay. Picture me. I have a little game called Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Had it for a very, very long time. You know how many times I played it since I bought it?
When we played it at the house with those GameCube controllers?
We bought the game, then we bought the GameCube controller adapters, and then I played it like 2 more times after that. Because nobody was willing to play with me, first off, because nobody knew it either existed or wanted to challenge me, which I can't blame them. But at the same time, I never had any interest in playing it because nobody else wanted to talk about or playing it. And granted, I did not buy it when it came out, like maybe a year and a half after it came out, because it didn't seem like that of a title. Like, it was huge competitive wise, especially for Twitch and all that, but no friend of mine has ever talked about playing Super Smash Brothers. And it's weird because it has such a huge childhood stigma attached to it. I love Super Smash Brothers, but I don't play it anymore.
Right.
It's not because I hate it, it's because maybe it's because people get hyped up for it. Like, I bet you, I would say 25% of the people that are hyped up for this game will not play it more than 3 to 5 hours.
I'm going to.
I mean, there's no way to prove the statistic, but it's like, it's one of those games where people are going to buy because they're so hyped up. They're going to play it for a good few days, maybe with their friends, maybe one good solid night, a good few hours. But then as soon as everybody's gone and the hype dies down, like, when's the last time you played Splatoon?
Before I lost my Joy-Cons.
I mean, to me, it's like, I could easily play Splatoon, but just didn't. Like, I was kind of getting an adjustment for this vibe based off Mario Aces or Mario Tennis Aces, because it's another online multiplayer game that people can easily get into and have a good fun. Problem is, though, everybody that I keep hearing that played it and had interest into it died immediately. Maybe not necessarily because of the internet issues, details, but at the same time, people are like, oh, this is too complicated. This is too hard. And it's like, it's supposed to be fun, but it's a fighting game with rackets. Now, fast forward to this, we get all the games that people love playing with all these cute characters, plus Ridley. Oh, yeah, baby. Which, everybody was excited for since the GameCube. They've been demanding freaking Meta Ridley to come in. That and Waluigi, which I'm sorry, I kind of wish they put Waluigi.
He's as a trophy.
Yeah, he has his part in the game. He's a summonable character for 3 seconds.
When Yoshi ate Luigi in it, and it went dark, I thought they were going to tease Waluigi. That would have been good.
Like, it goes for a split second, and you hear, and it just cuts out immediately.
That's all you need.
That would be a good evil tease. Very impressed at the fact that they were able to keep almost every single character from Wii U.
They put every character in the game ever that was released into it.
It's just so impressive that they're able to bring all these people back, because we missed some of these characters. I missed my Solid Snake. I was Mewtwo in the last one?
He wasn't.
Yeah, they took him out, and so the idea that they brought him back, they made Ganondorf back into what looks like Ocarina of Time Ganondorf. Although I'm sure there's probably a cool sweet skin for only $3.99 where you can make him look like Twilight Princess or something again. I did Kirby give a Kirby is there. I know I gave my rant. I'm probably gonna still buy this game, but I'm gonna be bitter about it, because I'm going to predict it now. I swear that I will put at least 10, 15 hours enjoying this game, opening characters up, trying to play, maybe the subspace emissary, play with you, hopefully.
The #1 Smash player in the world.
Okay, let's not get too crazy here. But after that, I am going to take a look at all my friends on my friends list. It's going to show me who bought it. And then it's going to show me how much they played it. And if they have, my predicted amount of, 5 hours or maybe even 10 hours at most, it's like, that's it. That's all they're going to do. Maybe they'll bring it back up, because it's like, we don't have time. We don't have friends. What are friends? Friends and time in the same place? For a Venn diagram, that is 2 separate circles, Brandon.
Let me say something, though.
Go ahead.
One thing that I'm really excited about this is it's on the Switch.
That's true.
I can go to work at the hotel on the downtime and play it, or bring it to, I have a couple parties that I go here every once in a while, bonfires and stuff, just bring it by, play Smash with people. I'm excited for that. Portable Smash, pretty much. I mean, I've got it on the DS, but...
I mean, that is true. A lot of things with Mario Kart, which I do still play, that could be a good exception to this whole rule, is I do enjoy the idea of bringing it and playing with other people. Granted, the screen is so tiny that it's terrible, but we don't have that
8-person Smash on that screen.
I mean, playing Super Smash Bros. On it would be hard to see, but really, if you saw a green dot and you're playing as Link, you don't need to really worry about it. Like, you can see a glowing Falcon Punch on this tiny 3x3 pixel and know what to do.
Right.
If not, then you need to get good.
You
need to get good, Brandon.
I played Jigglypuff, okay?
Yeah, you did. That's right. I still remember the last time we played was over at that Japanese arcade thing over at the Columbus Mall. And you tried Jigglypuffing against I believe it was Zelda.
Sheik? Zelda. Yeah, it was Zelda and Sheik. Right?
It was original. I played Sheik, but then I switched to Zelda because I realized Zelda could easily counter Jigglypuff. And then I just kind of felt bad because it didn't go in your favor. It felt weird because if I had to pick, I would have loved to have been much better at Dragon Ball Fighter Z and beat you at that, than still be like, well, not still, but actually be able to beat you definitively in certain player versus player fight matchups. And
right.
I'm not proud. I'm not actually that good. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Almost, not quite.
Almost. It's hard. Um, but yeah, everybody's in it. I did you see the I think they called them Omega stages.
Omega stages, no.
Basically, it's Final Destination as a stage, but you have it with every stage design. So, like, let's say you really like the Breath of the Wild stage that they're putting in,
Yeah.
you can have a Final Destination stage with that stage design in it.
Oh,
So
okay. Like, is
it's
it just going
nice.
to take a small portion of it, or?
It just recolors the Final Destination with that.
Oh, okay.
So it's interesting. So it should be fun for competitive, of course.
Now, I basically saw a trailer that showed all the characters for the most part, except for Ridley for some reason. Did we see any did you see anything like Pokeball throwing or whatnot?
Yep, there's Pokeballs. They showed Beware and Solgaleo or Solgaleo.
There you go.
So they have new Pokemon for that. New items. They have like a black hole item, which was pretty cool.
Okay. Any little floating landmines to shooting giant axes?
Yeah. Well, no.
Great.
They had Bomberman as an assist trophy, and he
Really?
put a bomb on the stage and it'd shoot it, out and up and down. A cross is close enough to an X, right?
Yeah. Is there anything else? I mean, we're excited for this. I'm bitterly excited. You're hyped excited.
We can use our GameCube controllers on it.
Yes. Are we talking about the ones that we used for?
We can't use those because those are Bluetooth, weren't they?
They were Bluetooth. Yes.
Yeah, they've got to be wired, but you could buy a USB wired controller.
That is true. There's already been showing that people have, I think it was third party, are making wired GameCube controllers for the Switch. So yay. But I don't trust wired controllers. Wired controllers mean they can build it cheap, and they're going to build it as cheap as possible. And I just don't trust wired controllers anymore,
man. You don't have to buy it cheap.
No.
No, you can buy a $100 one if you want.
Do you buy it free? Oh, I'm going to need to if I want to beat you.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many hours I can get into it before we play together.
Okay.
We're going to unbox it. I'm going to get like an hour and a half, and then you'll be like, all right, let's play.
Yeah. A couple other games coming out for the Switch. Daemon X Machina. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is actually coming out for the Switch.
Yeah.
SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. And, there's a bunch of other third-party titles and ports I'm not going to talk about. Was there any games on the list here that you're hoping to get announced that just didn't quite make it?
I don't know. I didn't even think about that.
No?
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Did we get any talk about Metroid Prime 4?
Oh, we didn't. No.
No, not at all. Not that I'm aware of any. We didn't even show the.
I didn't even mention it.
That's dark, man. Like, because honestly, I thought they're going to talk more about it and then introduce for the Switch a Metroid Prime trilogy. We get to play the first three.
Especially if it was remade, remastered.
I mean, it would have to definitely be upscaled, a little bit upgraded, especially considering the GameCube one was in 4:3. But actually, the first two were for GameCube, so we'd have to switch that to widescreen. Otherwise, we'd have. Well, I'm not going to fat shame Samus with wide Samus.
I'd like to shame Samus.
Yeah, okay, whatever, dude. Jeez, PG-13 podcast. No, I mean that's a PG-13 film. We talked about Detroit Become Human, so I can't go in detail on that. Is there anything that you wish was announced for Sony?
No, I can't. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 was the big one for me. I'm just glad we got some more footage of it.
It's amazing because in this situation, I came in with zero expectations and I got exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, okay. E3 as a whole, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel like it was compared to the other E3s of later years?
I mean, it was definitely better than 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
They were locked in. Maybe it was 3 years ago. They had conference rooms, and it was just like 8 people in a conference room of news people. And so there weren't any big shows like this. Last year's was kind of disappointing too. Not very many big announcements, although we did have some Switch stuff, I guess.
Yeah, Odyssey.
Yeah.
Odyssey was the big thing for Nintendo then. Where if you stood in line at E3, you got to hear that song that they play at New Donk City over and over. That's sung by the lady there. So got to enjoy that. What's
I
that?
still haven't beaten Odyssey.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I tried. I was like, man, I actually really liked Odyssey. I'm gonna keep playing it because after beating it, it's like, okay, I unlocked the first world you get to do after you beat the game. Tried it. Will never complete that. Never. I tried playing. Like, no, so much bull crap things going on there. I will never touch that. And maybe I'll collect more moons. I will not be doing any more worlds beyond that. I'm happy with the worlds I got.
Balloon World.
But Balloon World.
You know, you and Luigi's got a thing. Ooh, that would have been nice to have. Luigi's Mansion for the Switch announcement would have been cool.
That would have been nice. It would have been good. I mean, I always secretly pray to the Nintendo gods for a Pokemon Snap game, but honestly, we had so much Pokemon news that there's no way.
Right.
I mean, they have Pokemon Quest, for goodness sakes. I can't expect them to do more Pokemon. Well,
Mystery Dungeon would have been fun on the Switch too. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like if they did Mystery Dungeon, they would have said for the 3DS. Don't. I don't. I mean, we need to let that die.
But yeah, overall, not a bad E3. We gotta wait a couple months for anything fun, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Christmas season.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, E3, the Christmas of video games, it's over finally. Thank goodness too. Let it burn.
Dead.
Oh gosh, Death Stranding. This is a Death Stranding scenario right now.
Time to go eat one of those bugs, I guess.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I don't know where I can find it.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this show up?
I don't want to go to work tonight.
Don't worry, me neither.
That's about it.
I got to get up at 4:30, so I got to ship this one out as soon as I can. But yeah. I guess that's going to be it for this episode of the side quest of Casual Master Quest. Thank you for listening to myself. You can check me out on Twitter at 2timestyler. Brandon, can we find you anywhere on the internet? Or are you still hidden in the shadows?
I'm pretty well hidden.
Okay, fine. If you want to talk to him, you got to get through me.
Yeah. You can just give him my phone number.
Okay. Your phone number is I don't know. I'm still bitter
I didn't know if you knew it or not.
Nope, I definitely don't. In fact, after I got a new I got a same phone number, got a new phone, lost your contact. Notice I keep messaging you on Facebook.
I texted you.
Did you?
Yeah,
no.
Hold on. I'm gonna...
Why do you have a Princess Zelda poster over this $70 poster I made for you?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You got Princess Zelda over this giant 3-foot by 5-foot poster behind you.
Not over it. It's just not.
Oh, okay. It's over to the side. All is forgiven. Disregard me. I was just having a jealous best friend moment.
No, I gotta see what I texted you. Oh, I texted. Yeah, because said I can't say it on stream. What I said.
Okay.
Said, hey, baby, want some? And then you sent the link picture of heavy breathing.
Oh, okay. Great. Anyways, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We will see you preferably sometime next Monday on the actual mainstream podcast going on, where Nick, Cam, and I will team back up to officially talk about everything on E3 as a whole. And don't forget to never stop the grind. See you guys.
Bye.